all of this was in the period of like 32 hours from starting and leaving, and I've never been the type of guy to do that. I always stick things out even if they're difficult, but that was just, it was awful. It was awful.
Hello there and welcome to another episode of The Outside Crowd. Today we have our guest with us called Mikey Grimes. Hello, Mikey.
Hello.
Hello. And he is from Grandscapes. And today we'll be just talking about his business and what he's up to. But introduce Bill. Hello, Bill.
Hello.
And yes, so yeah, please tell us
Ryan,
a bit.
say hello, mate.
Hello, yo. I will say hello as well. Please tell us a bit about yourself.
My name's Mikey. I am a landscape gardener, more the garden maintenance side now. I've been back in England for 2 years. Decided to start my own business when I come back for the ease of flexibility whilst having a baby.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a tough couple of years. Not as glamorous as I thought it'd be, but I'm absolutely loving it.
Nice.
Love having my
So
own
where were you before?
I was in Australia, mainly Sydney.
Okay,
but
yeah,
I've also been to Melbourne and travelled the East Coast. Nice. But worked in Melbourne and Sydney.
How long were you there for? Yeah.
I was there in total for about 4.5, 5 years.
Oh, that's a good amount of time.
Sydney about 3.5 years. Yeah. And I'd go back tomorrow.
Yeah.
I really would.
I bet with the cold weather today, I bet you would.
Yeah.
Did you go out there with the intention to work, or was it just to travel? Or
I did go with the intention to work. So my wife Amelia she's always wanted to go travelling since the day I met her, and so we did the Asia thing. I've got a family in New Zealand, so we went there, and then we spent so much money. So it's like, right, we got to work now. Let's go to Australia, because I knew someone that was there before working in our sort of industry.
Yeah.
So he kind of said, look, you should come here, work. You'll easily get a job. And so I did, applied for a job, and then I started working for a company called Sam Egan Gardens, and it was a bit of a trek because I thought like Melbourne was quite small.
Oh no.
And they said, oh, your first day's here, and I checked on my phone, where do I need to go? And it's like Box Hill, and I was in the middle of Melbourne. It's like, I'm going to have to get up so early. So every morning I was leaving at 5 to get the train and trams.
God.
So I was only there for about 5 months. That was a stopgap. And part of the visa that I was on, you can only work for a company for 6 months, and then you had to move on. You weren't allowed to stay somewhere unless you was sponsored. They weren't going to sponsor me. I presume they wouldn't, because there's no talk of it. So we was like, right, we've got to do farm work because we was approaching the end of our year at this point.
Yeah. So that adds another year, right?
That's right, yeah. So you get another year. We went to farm work, so then we flew to Adelaide. We got a 3-hour coach north of Adelaide to go to an orange picking farm. And I thought, this can be fantastic. It wasn't fantastic.
Reality. For every farmer listening to this going, yeah, right.
I feel like I've got to be careful what I say, because I don't feel like the farm I personally went to abided by the rules of farm work. So we were greeted by a polite Russian who didn't look Russian. And she said, right, you need to give me $800 now for your deposit. I was like, deposit for what? She's like, your room, your orange picking uniform, which was literally just a saggy old satchel that you flick the oranges in. And she took our passports.
That's scary.
Yeah, it was a bit scary. And then we'd opted to have our own room, because part of the farm work, I think they let out houses, the farm pays for it. And there was about 20 people in this one house. And they were not friendly. No. They were finishing their farm work. They were all done. And we were the new ones in there to do the next stint. Oh, yeah. So everyone was like over it. No one was friendly. No one was chatting. So we stayed we went into our room, and it was literally just this old sofa bed that was disgusting.
Oh, no.
And it was broken in the middle. So we spent our first night there. And it's like, right, tomorrow morning we got to go orange picking. We got to meet at 11 a.m. because the temperatures weren't right to pick earlier. So it's right, it's going to be a long day of orange picking. And then we got there. We had the little demo how to do it, the twist and flick, and given what I do for work, I was fairly good at it. Like, you know, manual hands up a ladder in the trees, like flicking the oranges off. My wife wasn't as good at it, and she kept ripping the top off.
Oh no!
And they get quite funny about that because obviously they've got to be in a pristine condition to go to the supermarkets. And also, we were both really slow. So we had a group of us and 2 others, couples. So there was 6 of us in total, and we had this big, imagine a ton bag, but a plastic cage called a bin, and you had to fill it. Well, you got paid $25 per bin.
Wow.
Between all 6 of us, we filled 1 bin at a day.
No.
And there was other pickers that were like on their own that had done 3 bin.
No
but they
way.
honestly, it was like machine gun. They were like, brr, 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 like just throwing these things in, all perfect. And yeah, long story short, the big farmer come over and he saw what we'd done, and he wasn't very nice. And let's just say I was like, normally I'm very optimistic. I'm like, right, we can stick this out, Amelia. We can do it, because she had a bad day. And I got back to the house. Well, I say a house. It was an absolute hell.
Got to the shack.
Yeah. And I was like, Amelia, this isn't for us. We got to go. But the predicament was she had $800 of ours, the farm lady, and our passports.
No way. And
So it was like, right, we need, yeah. She was a Russian lady, but she was like, from her looks wise, Asian. So when I first like spoke to her, and she's, hello, how are you? I was like, oh my word, that's odd.
Yeah,
she could have been from this, like one of the Soviet nations.
Well, yeah, I believe she was. Yeah,
Kyrgyzstan or something. They look Asian, but they speak like in a Russian accent. Yeah.
Yeah, and she was so intimidating, and going up to her asking for our passports.
You started with that without the money, then you?
Yeah,
you thought you passport first. Then money.
That money we gave her was literally like our last.
Yeah.
The only thing we had money for left was to go back to Adelaide and rent a car, because we didn't have money to fly to. I'm pretty sure we
Did
didn't
you
have
get
money
paid for that 1 bin?
No, actually, I should go back. I'll have my $25. Well, split between 6. I think she can keep that. Yeah. So that didn't work out. So then we actually managed to get our passports back, and we said, she was like, "I'll work tomorrow." Yeah, no worries. I didn't plan. We'd already booked our coach, and we were so nervous. We didn't tell her there was 1 coach in and out that day, and we didn't turn up for work, and I was so nervous thinking she's going to turn up.
Did you get the 800 quid back then?
No.
Oh, yeah, we just fucking left it.
Then I wouldn't bother. Just got passport back. That's it. It's not worth $800. Lad. Get out of there.
Oh, it was bad. And
oh god.
So we managed to get on, and as soon as that coach drove away, I was just like,
the feeling.
But all of this was in the period of like 32 hours from starting and leaving, and I've never been the type of guy to always stick things out even if they're difficult. But that was just, it was awful.
It
was awful. And given the stories the few stories that some of them have said previously,
that was enough.
Just like, no, this isn't going to work. So then we hired a car. We drove to Melbourne, back where we were, stayed with a friend, played a football match because I was still signed to the team. I was like, right, and then we'll drive up to Sydney and start this new plan. Actually, I've skipped a little bit. Before we even got on the coach, Amelia, my wife, she said, "Oh, I've applied for a job for you in Sydney. I've googled sponsoring gardening jobs, and this company's come up in Sydney called Maintain Me." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I got a phone call pretty soon after that, and it at the time, now I know why Zeke, my boss there, sounded so flustered. He was in a pharmaceutical shop, and he said he had like his hands full, and he was calling me. He wanted to get me in, but it was just quite a mad phone call. It's like, yeah, when could you start? When can you start? Oh, blah blah blah. Monday. This was like Saturday. I was saying, so we've got to sort out driving to Sydney. We've got to sort out accommodation in Sydney. I say work clothes, but I hadn't packed for like proper gardening work, and it was cold in Sydney.
Yeah,
it was a bit warmer in South Australia, so I was like, "Oh, do you know, we're just gonna have to make it work." So but then we went and got on the coach, hired the car, and we drove all the way up to Sydney, and very quickly. Obviously, one night stayed in Melbourne, and so then first thing I did was buy some boots. And we stayed with a family friend in a place called Hornsby, which was north of Sydney, and I had to get to the city centre. So obviously, I just love travelling on local transport.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
So again, 5 o'clock up to the train, to the tram, and my first day I was so late. So I was like, this is a great start.
Oh god.
But I turned up to work, and normally, like doing garden landscaping, there's always a yard. There's always like it's like in suburban Sydney. This was in the centre of Sydney, high-rise flats, and I'm thinking I'm at the wrong place here. So I rung my boss. This one I was meeting calls Leighton. So Leighton and Zeke are a couple, and he goes, "Oh yeah, you're at the right place. I'll come up and meet you." And he comes out this apartment block, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Leighton." I was like, "Hi, nice to meet you." And he said, "Oh yeah, so all of our stores are in the underground car park." That's odd.
This is odd.
Yeah, so he took me down the lift, went into this multi.
You went with him?
Yeah. Yes, this
It'd be easy to take, wouldn't you?
Yeah. This multi-story.
Come this way.
In the back of this van.
Yeah, that's it. I'll drive you away. And yeah, he started walking me around and showing me. Well, at this point where we were working, and we had. So I think there was 5 or 6 levels. We had 2 at the top. We had one go down 1 level, had another one there. Go down 2 levels, had another 2 there. Go down 1 level, had 1 there. Bearing in mind when you're trying to load a van in the morning, God. And there's like 4 or 5 vans, and you're blocking like anyone's rite of passage. It was carnage.
That sounds crazy.
But yeah,
sounds mad.
It was a bit, well, looking back on it again, like you're just used to having like a nice yard space where you got space everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of the car parks we used as a waste storage, so it was like leaf and all the garden maintenance mess just in this garage, but you had to keep it like pristine clean because obviously people had their cars next door, and it was quite a wealthy area. Like some cars were proper nice, and there's us with all our dirty stuff, blowing our vans out. And,
that's crazy.
yeah.
And so how long did you work there for?
I was there for 3 years.
Okay, and that was garden maintenance, or?
So they did garden maintenance predominantly at the start, and Zeke and Leighton at this point were both on the tools. So it's quite a fairly small company, but they had big plans to build. And normally you hear people say, "I want to build," and that doesn't happen because it is actually really difficult now. I'm in the position I am. It's really hard, but they're very driven and entrepreneurial, and so Zeke was doing the landscaping side, and there was 4 teams doing garden maintenance, but then it grew fairly quickly.
Wow.
And then there was always a landscaping team, and then predominantly it was garden maintenance. So I was working there. I don't know how long, probably about a year doing the maintenance side. And Zeke then come and spoke to me. He said, "Mike, how do you feel about doing landscaping?" I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to do that. Like, I'd love broadening my skill set." And I'd done it before, like before I left for Australia for a company. And he goes, and I thought I was going to be working alongside Zeke doing it because he was going to. I mean, don't get me wrong, I can do it, but to do it on my own at that point was a big task. He's like, "Right, I've accepted a nice sandstone paving job. There's some steps in it. You've got to do raised garden planter beds. Obviously, that's fairly easy. And I like planting design." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "And you're doing it on your own?" What? I was like, no, that's not for me. "No, you'll be fine. You're going to do it." And I ended up doing it, and I was so stressed. Every day I was thinking, I need to get this right. I need to play this properly. I want to get all
spot
pristine,
nice.
spot on. And I did manage to do it.
Good, yeah.
But the one caveat to it was I don't know if they trusted my cutting at the time. And Zeke was like, "I'm going to have to cut all your cuts." I was like, "Oh, that's not ideal." All we had was an angle grinder. So I had to... I got to the point where I was phoning him saying, "Right, Zeke, I need some cuts done."
No way.
He's like, yeah, I'll come. He never come. And I was like, "Oh, do you know what? I'm just doing it myself." So I went back to the yard, took the angle grinder. I was like, "Right, I'm doing it all myself." Did it, and it looked proper smart. Like, I can cut.
Yeah, of course.
But
it was micromanaging a little bit.
It was more, I think, the health and safety part of it, because I think previously they've had some people in there that tried to take advantage of like being hurt work.
Ah, right. Okay, I see.
Yeah, I'm fast forwarding a bit, but when I took over a lot of the reins, there was this one person who you really see was coming to work purposely to try and explore that avenue, let's say.
That's weird.
But so it's more a health and safety thing.
She wouldn't find me, being in the bottom of the concrete left.
Yeah. But I ended up doing it myself. I smashed it. It looked really nice. And then from there, it was like, yeah, Mikey, you're going to do landscaping tasks, a soft, hard. We did mainly soft landscaping, but I absolutely loved it. But whenever we didn't have a landscape or a job come in, I just go back to the maintenance, and I sort of saw that as a breather. That's like, oh, this is nice and easy, what I'm used to. But yeah, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
So then after that, so after that time, you were saying you were running the teams. There was a few teams there doing different bits. You're back in the maintenance. So when you arrived back here, and like you said, you wanted to start your own company and do it for yourself. How was that? How's that journey been going?
Yeah, it's going really well.
Nice.
Like really well. Like I'm proud that I survived starting my company.
Yeah.
So I'm not based far away. I'm based in Orpington, and like don't get me wrong, there's some good workers around here. But I feel like when I moved like back to Tunbridge Way, there are some seriously good landscapers and gardeners around.
You're looking at one of them, brother.
That's nice, very nice. And it was quite daunting because I was thinking, how am I going to break in here and like make a stamp and like get local work? Because when I started my own company, I was very reliant on family and friends.
Yeah,
like we all are.
I was going to say we all
You're like, has anyone got any work?
Yeah.
And you just say yes to everything. So I mainly started off with a family friend of mine, Ross, who he has some student housing in Sidcup, and he was like getting me to tidy up all the gardens, have me doing some landscaping tasks. So predominantly, like I say, I'm from Orpington, so a lot of my work was that way. So I was travelling. It's not that far. But then I started to get some local jobs, mainly gardening for the local job. But then I hit a point where I was doing too many landscaping jobs and annoying my regular local maintenance. Yeah, and that's position.
That's your bread and butter, right? You don't want to piss around with that.
Yeah, I don't want to annoy people. I'm a people pleaser. I love to like make people feel happy. And then when you get messages saying, "Are you coming today?" and then in my head I'm like, "No, I can't come. I'll come this evening. Will that work?" And they're saying, "Yeah." And then I was just stretched myself far too far.
Yeah, that's classic. That's I mean, you do that, but you overpromise and underachieve quite often. I think when you first start.
Yeah, and I feel like
and that's a common problem for everyone.
Yeah,
and you just, I think as you go on further, you realise what is. I mean, I still fucking do it now. I did it today. I had to cancel a job, to be honest. But like, you know, it's annoying because sometimes you're like you foresee a problem happening and you cancel a load of shit and then it doesn't happen, and then you're like, fuck, I've got all this time now, and I could have gone and done that job and earned a bit more money.
Yeah.
And then you know, if you sod's law, if you did it, and then you have to do it. Like what I've started doing now is I give people like a warning. You know, like I'll be like, look, you know, to be honest, we're running slightly over on a job, and my intention is to get to you. Here's another day if we can't do it. You know, like and just try and manage it that way, because I mean, like I think these businesses that we have, it's impossible to be 100%. On it all the time. It's impossible to be there when you say you're going to be there like 100% of the time. Like obviously that's the intention, and you want to be reliable, and that's what your reputation should be, that you're reliable and you're there. But like it's impossible to do it all the time, and to get people to understand that as well is quite.
Well, I think
difficult.
I think yes, you're absolutely right. But I like what you said, Bill. It's like the just that communication, just that kind of you foresee something. It's like, well, this could happen, might not happen. You know, nobody knows when the van's going to break down. But it breaks down, so you know things happen. So, but being able to just communicate to them so people know. So if people aren't in the know, that's when people get a bit peeved because they've moved the car to do the thing, they've moved the bins or whatever. You know, they've done something because you're coming. But if they you know, if you just give them, hey, heads up, we might be there earlier, later. You know, is that okay with you? You know, just shuffling things around. You know, quick voice note. You know, I enjoy having a WhatsApp group with my clients. You know, all involved in the build.
Idea.
I tell you, it's quite funny. We do have some funny, you know, back and forths as well. It's quite good. But you know, just letting them know that I'll be there at 1 o'clock instead of 3. Like I said, I'm a little bit early. Is that okay? You know, and it's just little things like that without having to get the emails out. It's just a voice note, boom, straight to a group chat, straight to the, you know, and any information can go onto it as well, because you know some clients can't cancel. They can, actually, you know, like today I had a meeting today with a pool company and the husband I had to go out. He said, I've got to go. I've got to go do something. I won't be there when you arrive. Mind you, the pool company's supposed to be there at 12:30. They turn up at 3. But anyway, it was fine. I knew straight away, communicated, said, no problem at all. So it's just having that little group chat, it really does help.
Definitely. So on that, a transition from being employed to running your own company, how has that been? You've got a lot more that you've got to deal with. Yeah.
I do and I don't. Going back to Australia, so obviously I was always employed there throughout my whole time. And there was 3 core people that were there. So you had myself, a guy called Sam, who's one of my absolutely best friends. He's such a good guy.
Nice.
And Ollie, who's another great guy. All English people out there. We were kind of like the sort of management team in the sense of like new people come with us. We'd teach them the philosophy of Maintain Me and what standard we need to set. And then, like I said before, Leighton and Zeke are very ambitious and entrepreneurial. So Leighton started up a cosmetics business. He built our CRM system for the company that deals with, it's quite technical. I have no idea, but the whole system we use, because everything was done on our phones. For like you said, communication wise, it'd send out emails, blah blah blah. He built all of that, and he wanted to pursue other avenues of business. Zeke was brought up on a dairy farm, I believe, and he wanted to go back to farming.
Oh.
So the plan, they had a conversation. I believe it was me and Sam. They had the conversation with separately. I don't know what Sam said, but he now does the job I did. But anyhow, I ended up taking the job to run the company day to day. And that was a challenge I was not ready for.
When you say run it, what do you mean?
So Zeke would go... So they lived and built a house in Melbourne. So Leighton then moved to Melbourne. And Zeke was going from Sydney to Melbourne, but couldn't be there all the time. So he needed someone to get in early, open up, so every morning we'd have a work order that has 1, all your jobs, 2, what quantities of items you need. Do you need soil? Do you need fertilizer? Do you need the large ladders? Do you need an extension pole? Because we didn't have enough for every single van to come in. So you need someone to come in early, set all the guys up, tell them what they're doing, because everybody has a question for you in the morning. Oh my word. And you have to some people you have to really explain what you got to do at every single job. So it was that. Then there was the side of customer communication. So I was behind the desk most mornings, saying, look, we're going to be we was just touching on we're going to be here at this time. Actually this has happened, we won't be here till then, rescheduling. So there's a bit of diary management as well, so it's all admin as well, which
operations.
Effectively. And then I wasn't supposed to start that sort of job as quickly as they'd said. I was on a landscaping job and I was wearing goggles, but not the right ones. And I was making a cut, and I just felt you're pruning a hedge and you get something in your eye, something's in my eye. It was uncomfortable. I felt that feeling when I was cutting. I was like, odd, thought nothing of it. And the next day I went to work, my eye was just kept watering. I was and I still had that feeling something's in my eye, and I was trying to get it out, and I was getting quite worried at this point. So I carried on laying the sandstone path, and it got to the end of the day and my eye was streaming. And I was like, this isn't good. I got home to meet Amelia and she was like, your eye doesn't look good. I was like, yeah, it doesn't feel good. And anyway, this is a bit of a weird part of the story. You know where you need a toilet in the night? Yeah. Well, it's pitch black in our apartment. I turned the light on, but only one of my eyes lit up. The other one I couldn't see. Fully could not see. I had this cloud over it. And I rang Zeke in the morning. I was like, I can't come to work. I can't see. And he goes, look, there's one more down this job. Can you just get it done?
No, he didn't.
He was... When I explained the scenario, fair. He was really good about it.
Yeah, fair.
They were brilliant.
Yeah.
So I went to the doctors. and they said, you've got to go to A&E now. You've got metal in your eye. I was like, what do you mean I've got metal in my eye? Obviously, it sounds a stupid question. You've got metal in your eye. So I had to go to the hospital, see an eye specialist, and they said, oh, yeah, you've got a lump of metal in your eye. And if it was, I can't remember, if it was like a couple mil deep, I would have lost my sight or something.
No way.
So she had to put like a dye in my eye, I think it was iodine, and she'd scrape my eye to get this stuff out. And obviously she'd numb my eye, but
still
having your eye and you can feel someone scraping
mate.
but the doctor wasn't able to get out in one. She said, when your eye heals, the layers will push it forward. So when the rest comes forward, so I think there was about 4 days where I had to go back and just have my eye scraped, and I couldn't. And I had an infection in my eye, a bad one. Hence why I couldn't see. I had that cloud.
Yeah, right.
So I was off work for about, I think it's 4 weeks. But again, Leighton and Zeke was so good. They paid me for the whole time.
Oh, good.
They said, don't worry about it. When you come back, we'll find you some like tasks to do that. I couldn't do any dirty work, like any dust or anything get in my eye cause the infection to go bad.
No, any landscaping then, is it?
Yeah, so
not much there.
I ended up having a conversation with them. There's like right, we're gonna fast forward you moving into taking the operations. That's a really good word you've actually said. The operations stuff. I was the operations.
No, he's going home now. He's going to tell Amelia, well, you know.
Yeah, so I had like a crash course on it, but again, like I say, they started these businesses, so it was a very much a crash course. So they'd show me the whole process. I was familiar with the system anyway, but to do the operation stuff where it involved the client. Admin was it was different to what I've ever done before, like speaking to them, like finding out what they need, and then writing the work orders myself. There was quite a process to doing it, but anyway, they taught me how to do that. So I was admin based for probably another 6 weeks.
Well, there's a lot you learned from that, though. That's what you're saying, eh?
Huge. And Zeke was around with me and Leighton at the time to help me with it.
Oh, brilliant.
So then I started doing that side of it, just admin based, and obviously seeing the boys in the yard again, like, oh, how are you back? I thought you was gone forever. No, I'm here to stay. And then we said, right, now you're going to start doing a bit more. So that's when I started taking on getting in early, because Zeke was then flying to Melbourne. So getting in early, opening up, setting all the boys up, telling them what they're doing, and then they'd all leave at 7:30. I'd get my coffee, nice breath of fresh air. They're all gone because there was, I think at the time there was 18 staff. We had a fair few teams, so it was quite a whirlwind in the morning. Yeah, it was quite
every
tough.
morning.
Every
morning.
I've never been asked so many questions. My 2-year-old, honestly, it was like a dream compared to that. It was a big learning curve.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part of that was managing the staff, because there was one thing they said to me that always stuck with me: their problems become your problems, but don't let their problem become your problem.
That's very good. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds really profound, and I'm going to do that. But it was so hard, especially having a personal relationship, because I was one of the team, like the people going out, and then I had to take myself back, and I had to have Mikey's head, and I had to have the business's head, which I really struggled with. So when someone said, "Oh, I'm sick, but I can't come in," or I noticed with me there was a lot more people could take a bit more because I was too nice. And then Leighton then said, this is when he said, you have to have your Mikey hat and your Maintain Me hat. And this is something I've gone through to. I don't have to do it as much now because basically only me and my father-in-law. And
no, you ain't chatting back to him.
No, I'm not. He's the boss. He's the boss. Well, the ladies are the boss.
Of course. Don't give it. We know that.
I'm not bossing Kev around. Let's be honest.
So it's just so about your business then. So you learned a hell of a lot when you were out there. You came back here. You've had a lovely child, 2-year-old now. So and then now it's yourself and your father-in-law work together nicely. So how many projects are you doing? How many? Where are you at?
Projects wise, I'm slowing down on that stuff because I think I'm going to progress more into the garden maintenance side.
Yeah, okie dokie. Yeah,
but I still have some projects. I've got. So if one of my maintenance clients owns a lovely house in West Peckham, and he's asked me to do. He's got a composite deck that he wants to have ripped out. I'm going to do like a new limestone.
Oh, nice.
Patio outside it. But other than that, the projects are stopping. And I'm just going to concentrate on my maintenance. I've got some really nice clients with some
wicked,
some nice houses, and I've got kind of free reign to do as I wish.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I was looking through your Instagram earlier and looking at the planting and stuff. Really nice.
So I'm a
I can see the smile. Look at that smile there. Look, you know what I mean?
All my tattoos are plants.
I did see that. Yeah.
I absolutely adore plants and gardens. Like, yeah. When I left school, I had no intention of doing this as a career. But do you know the show DIY SOS?
Yeah, mate, of course.
So there was one, of course, yeah. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
So
wouldn't trust you.
There was a local one, and my friend at the time was like, "Why don't you come here and like do some work and blah blah blah." So I ended up going there every day, and I loved it. But I was helping the plumbers, I was helping the plasterers, I was helping the landscapers, and blah blah. It all come to an end, and the landscaper said, "Do you want a job?" It's like, "Yeah, okay." Sure, I need a job when I finish school. And then long story short, they sent me for a apprenticeship, and I was like, oh, I'm terrible in a school scenario. But I loved it. Learning about plants, and it just kick-started.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
So I was like, do you know what? This is the trade for me. And I absolutely love it.
It just grew from there.
Yeah, that's it.
Come on.
I didn't grow much, I'm tiny.
We're pushing on a little bit with time now. But before we do wrap things up, I want to have a chat with you about running a business now and how you're finding it in terms of like, are you busy acquiring work, marketing, that sort of thing? And you said earlier, about entrepreneurship and growing a business, and you said you're aware that that's quite a difficult thing now to grow or to scale a business.
Yeah.
I just want to know what your thoughts are on that and what you're doing to sort of, or if your intention is to grow, like what your plans.
So I'm a sole trader. I have my father-in-law Kev that helps me. My plan is to grow, but not
quickly.
Not quickly. I'm terrible at the admin side of my business. When I come to the job and I've got tasks in hand, I don't sound fantastic at it, but I know what I'm doing. Like it's easy. I can put my AirPods in. I just go to town and do what I do. But then when it comes to the admin side, I do lack there. I don't give enough time to the admin side of my business, which
procrastinating on it.
Sorry,
procrastinating on it, or
yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah,
you don't do it.
I don't do it. I procrastinate that much. I don't do it anymore.
Yeah, so I feel like why I find it difficult to grow is also the risk of. To grow, I'm going to have to buy like another van, another set of tools. I'm going to have to might employ people to come in and help me, but I don't think I'm ready for that yet. One, because I'm not knowledgeable enough in the sense of I'm not comfortable with the way my admin is done now.
Yeah.
And sometimes my days are messy, so I can't put that onto someone else. That's just unfair. Like I'm okay doing it because it's just my way of doing things.
I guess once you get that sorted, would you think about getting another team?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So the plan, I would like to have another child at some point, and the plan would be for my wife to slow down her work a little bit, and then to cover that sort of wage loss is where I can build a little bit and then cover that because my wife very much wants to be around for dropping off, picking up, which I think is such a nice thing.
I love that. I do love that.
It's quite important to us, but I am busy. I'm very busy, and the way I've been getting jobs is, I have a friend of mine, Matt, who's been absolutely fantastic. He's got a very important job in the sense that he's very busy and he's always working, but he's got a really nice house, and I'm fortunate enough that he lets me do work on his house, and it's in a nice area, and this is how I've got another job. Job.
It's good to be seen, man.
And he's also someone that will. He's sort of a business mentor for me. Like if he can tell when I've started slacking, and he'll give me a kick up the backside. Like, Mikey, what are you doing?
Nice.
And
that's what
JB's I do
like.
need it.
That's what JB.
Yeah, I phoned him on the way here just to see how he is, and he's like, "How are things doing?" I'm like, they're okay, doing well." But no, and then the other way I've got work is through local local magazines.
Yeah.
There's one in Merryworth called The Record, which again, Matt is someone that told me to put an ad in there, and he kindly put it in there and pay for it.
Oh, that's
for
very
me.
nice.
Oh, he's so good.
Well, you must do a good job then, brother. You know, that speaks a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then so I've got a few phone calls from that, and then now I do their gardens, and through that one advertising for like 4 months, I've got kind of blocked out all my time with garden maintenance and some really nice properties.
Well, that's that's very, very good. I mean, it's good to hear. It's good to hear you're nice and busy, and that's good to hear. So, you've got yourself your Instagram. I've got an Instagram. Got yourself your website.
I need to get a website.
Oh, you haven't got a website yet?
No, I do need to speak to someone about getting that done, because I feel like that's a really important part.
Yeah, and what's your Instagram?
It's Grandscapes_Kent.
There you go. So the people get in touch with you if they need their gardens done.
That's it. I would love to do it. And if you want some planting, I know a lot of plants. I love it.
Yeah, I think. That's a very interesting chat to you, dude. Yeah, thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
We're running over on time now, but mate, super interesting. It's nice to hear someone just cracking on and starting their own business and doing that. We love that.
Especially 2 years is good.
And also, it's nice to speak to people who are quite fresh into it, because it's it's like, I think with this podcast we always like to have a broad spectrum of people who've been doing it for a long time, people doing it for a short time. It's nice to be relatable to lots of different people, which I think we all are. So
you do a great job.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming on, dude.
Yeah, appreciate it. Well, there you go. That's wrapping things up. So thank you very much from you, my brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
And bye from Bill.
Whoa, bye.
Bye from myself. And we'll speak to you next time on The Outside Crowd.